Alright, so welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful and exciting tutorial on the Streamlit project, we're building a very simple app called Zodiac App, right? So this is very simple. If everybody knows about Zodiac, Zodiac is whereby you, based on the 12 months, we have the 12 stars, like constellations, and then usually it's useful to predict your character and your behavior, right? It is superstitious, but you'll be trying to build a very simple app on it. So this is a simple app you'll be trying to build. If I come back to the app like this, and then I enter in my month, the time I was born. So let's say I was born in January, and the date I was born was, let's say 21st, right? If I click on predict, it's going to predict my zodiac, right? And then the description, right? So the result, you are an Aquarius. Yeah, it was not able to spell it well, but and it's going to give us the alias, right? A water bearer. It's going to give us the description, right? And then you can also see from this wonderful description what an Aquarius mostly is about. You can just get this positive attribute. So somebody that is an Aquarius is intelligent, inventive, humanistic, altruistic, informative. And then if the person is, these are going to be the negative, right? Very simple and very nice. So that is a simple app you're trying to build from scratch. So that is all. The app is not a lot with a lot of things. If I go back to the Zodiac board, you can have the entire data set, so I can actually check it out, right? Very simple. So we are using a data set to help us with that. Okay, so that is a simple app you'll be trying to build in this wonderful tutorial. So let's start from scratch. So as we are doing this, is still part of the Streamlit project, we are building a very simple app, right? This is a very simple app, which is like a search app, in which you're going to have an input session. Going to be using, this time we're using a function and a data, right? A data set, then going to process it, get a result, going to give us our result in our display session. So let's go back and see how to build this wonderful app from scratch. So all the code for the app is already here on our Streamlit project. So the code is here, Zodiac App. So we'll be trying to see how to work with it. So let's see how to work with it. So I'll just go back again to our workspace and we'll try writing some code. So I'll go back again to our workspace, right? So these are some of the apps that we have built so far, right? Perfect. And then we'll be using our Web Genesis to help us with that stuff, right? So in case you want to know what the Web Genesis is, it's a very simple API, very simple application that allows you to be able to randomly generate files, right? So you can just get it at JCharisTech/WebGenesis on GitHub, or you can use pip to install it. Pip install Web Genesis. Let me show you where it is. Yeah, this is just to help us make our work easy for us, right? So if I come back to on GitHub/JCharisTech/WebGenesis, there's a package that we are using, right? It's called pip install Web Genesis, right? Or you can just come to this place and pick that file. Okay, so let's go back again and see how to work with this. So this is it. We already have it there. So Python 3 Web Genesis, and I'm going to be creating our Streamlit multi-page. We're just going to call it as Web Genesis, right? So let's call it as number 4 Zodiac App, right? So that's the name of the app. So it's automatically going to generate the folder for us. Then if I check it back, we have our Zodiac App number 4. I'm going to move into 04, and then we start writing some code, right? Perfect. So let's open it to Sublime Test, and then so if I come back here, so this is it, right? So this is the project that we are working on, and this is our app, right? Zodiac App. I'll open it from here. Our simple template has been generated for us. I'm going to change it one from Streamlit to Zodiac App. So Zodiac App, right? And this is still part of the Streamlit project. Streamlit project, right? Perfect. So the app is going to have an input session, which is going to be using to receive the date, and some function behind the scene, and an output. So let's go back and then work on the input session of the app. So let's work on it. So it's going to be very simple. I'm going to have just a simple input session for the home session, which is in this case going to be my date of birth. You can just make it date of birth, or let's go straight away without the date of birth and just make it like this. So my month, right, of birth, right? We're going to specify the month of birth. So let's do select box. I'm going to pass in my month, right? So month. Then we need to get a list of all the months there, right? So that's going to be there. So we're going to be having a list of, let's say, January till the end, right? That is going to be the month of birth. Then we also need to get the day of birth. So day of birth. I call it birth month, birthday, but this one sounds nice. So st.number input, and this is going to be a number. So let's call that date, and this is going to be my minimum value of every date is going to be 1, and then the maximum is going to be 31, right? Not 21 but 31. Perfect, right? That is something very simple. We can actually use the date input feature of Streamlit to help us with that, but that is going to require a lot of processing. We want to build it as simple as possible. Perfect, that is it. Now let's create a button. So if st.button, if the person supplies the button, I want you to do something. So what I want to do is that I want you to, let's call this predict. So predict the person's zodiac. So if that is the case, I want you to specify something. So we can also add a date of birth. Let's make it so st.date input. I'll put in the date, right? Date of birth, something like that. So I'm just going to specify the person's date. So st dot, right, the person's date of birth, DOB. Then we are going to be using the month and the day to help us with our zodiac, to predict the zodiac. So based on the zodiac, we are using a date and a month. So let's check what the zodiac is. I'll go back again to go, and then zodiac, right? Calendar. Your zodiac, or anyhow you call it. So based on the zodiac, we have some months. This is how it is, right? So there are some months, and then there are days, right? So this is it. So this is a simple diagram that is going to help us with it. So on this particular diagram, let's open an image. You can see that from here. So areas, right? All of these things, they have the month they start with and then the time it ends, right? So if the date falls between March 21st to April 20th, the person is Aries. So we only need the month and we need the day the person was born, right? So that's what we need. So we'll be writing a simple function, an if else function, to help us identify where the month is and where the day is, and then if it falls within that particular range, we will just bring this one out, right? So that's a simple function be helping us. So we need to get the list of all the months. So I'm just going to go back again, and then to the app itself that you're working on, you'll be listing all the months. So let's list all the months in a year. So let's go, that's my months list. I'm going to specify it here as from January to the end. So I'll copy and paste it to save us time. So this is it. So I'm going to paste it here, right, to save us time, right? So this is going to be from January to the end. So I'm going to pass in my month list here. So let's run the app to make sure that the app is working as expected. So I'll go back again to the app, the location of the app, then Streamlit run app.py. So while the app is running, we are going to go back and then create the function. So the function we are creating is going to be an if else, right? We can use the lambda or dictionary option to help us with that, but let's move on straight away with a simple if else, right, to make our work easy. So I'll go back and I'll copy the code for that. Now I'll explain it to save us time. So whilst our app is opening, so the app is opening here, right? It's still an app to upgrade, right? There's a new app. So I'm going to put it on the other place. I'm going to put it on here. So this is it. So let's open it from here. It's going to be 1. Let's close it. We're going to close the old one, and we're going to be opening the new one because the terminal is saying that this is 1. So I'm going to close the old app. So this is the new one, right, that we are working on. So everything is working as expected. So we have the date. If I click on the predict, we don't see any result. We're only going to see the date of birth, right? But we need to use the month and the day to help us with that. We can extract it from here, but I prefer not to be extracting it from this place to take us a lot of time, right? So I'll just go back again, and then I'll go back to the app itself here. I'm going to paste in the function to help us get it. So we are using the month and the day. So this is a simple function. Now we explain this function. So this function is going to help us get the zodiac, right, using the month. We're using the month and then the day, right? That is what we are using for this. So what it's going to do that if the month is December, right, so we'll be converting all of these things to lowercase. Then if the month is December, you check and see if the day, this particular day, falls within this particular limit. If it doesn't fall into it, then it is the next one, right, like that. So that is the basic understanding. So Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, just going like this, right, zigzag, right? So here, right, so here first, so here, then here, then here. Like, I hope you get the point. That is a simple function. So it's a very simple function. So I'll just go back again, and then I'll apply that particular function here. So let's call it as my result for whatever you have. So let's call it as my result. So applying the function, so find Zodiac. This function is going to be very useful. I'm going to pass in the month, coming from the month of birth here, so month of birth, and then the day of birth, so day of birth. So this is going to give us our result, and I'm going to return this one at st.write the result. So let's go back again and check it out. So let's always run, position it as always, so that we can see what you are doing. If I click on predict, this is 1st January, so it's going to go back and then unbound astro sign reference before assignment. So we just go back again and fix it out. So it's giving us this error, right? Unbound astro sign reference before assignment. So the reason is because this thing must be converted to lower cases, right? So we have to go back again and convert the day, the month, to lowercase, so dot lower, right, so that we get the month in the lowercase. Then now if I run it again, so the month is now in lowercase. If I go back and I apply it, because that's how the dictionary is, run it, we're not going to get that particular error, right? Capricorn, right? So that means it's working. So let's change it to another date of birth. So let's go with March and click on predict. So pastes, right? So it's able to give us a result. So the basic idea behind all that thing is this simple function, right? It's a simple if condition function, very simple and very clever. Okay, so that is something very simple, and I got it from gettinggeek.com, right? Perfect. So let's move on, and then let's see what you can do next. We have gotten the Aquarius, we have gotten it. So we need to be able to list the attributes and then the description. So how do we do that? So we're using we have a CSV file, we'll be searching from it, and we use it for that. So let's go back again to the other section of the app. So we have our about. Let's add another one before we move on to the other field. So let's go to Zodiac board, right? And I'm going to create another section of the app where we're going to put in our else if the choice. Let's go to Zodiac board. This is where we're going to be putting in our table, right? So let's go to st.subheader Zodiac board. Then from here, I'm just going to be using pandas to help us with that. So pd.read _csv. I pass in my data folder. Then we have my Zodiac file. So Zodiac. So we can use the CSV format, or we can use the JSON format. Then I'm just going to return it out. So st.dataframe. Passing my df, right? So very simple. So I'll just go back again, and then I'm going to add that particular one. So we need to import pandas at the top. So go back again to the app itself. Then you're going to import pandas. So import pandas as PD, right? And inside our data folder, apologies for that, we will be working on the data set. So I'll paste in the data set there. So I'll go back to the app and paste in the data set, right? So we have two data sets. This one we'll use it for another app, but you'll be using this one for the current one. So I'll just go back again to our workspace where we're working, where we're writing our code, which is this place, right? And then let's put the app beside it. So if I go back from here to the Zodiac board, we must be able to see our data frame, right? Perfect. So our data frame is coming, very nice, right? So we have our data set there with the Zodiac or horoscope. Yeah, I don't know what the difference. We have the alias, the start date, end date, and then we have the description. So if the person's own is selected, we want to pick the positives, the negative, and the description from this data set, right? So be searching it with pandas. So I'll just go back again to the app that we are building on initially here. Let's put everything beside it. So we'll be picking from these ones, right? So I'll just go back again, and then back to the home page. Not back to the home page, you'll be searching from the horoscope place, and then be using the alias and then the rest. So I'll just go back again here for the results. So let's bring out that particular data set. So what I'll do is that I'll just go back to here, copy this one up from here, put this one on top of the app before the choices, or it can be anywhere, it can be outside it. You can even make it as a load function, st cache function. So let's make it like that. That will save us time. So def load data. Pass in the data set here. Return this, right? So we are returning this one. Yep. Perfect. So this is going to be the data set you are returning. So data, right? Perfect. So we are returning the data, and we can actually cache it with st.cache. So this is going to be deprecated in the future, right? So I'll just go back again, and I'll load that particular function. I'm going to load that function at the top of the app, right? So when the person opens the app, we want to load it here. So we want to load it here. So let's go to df load this data, pasting this one here, right? Perfect. So that the app, it is automatically loaded when the person starts the app, right? Perfect. So we'll be using this data set here. So when you get the result, I want you to search for that particular result. So let's go to my ZDF for my Zodiac data frame. Then I'll just go into my data frame. I'll go to the horoscope section. I may change the name to Zodiac, it's still the same thing. So horoscope, right? Then I'll just go back again, and I'll search for the result. So the result dot title. So the reason I did title is because it's supposed to be uppercase. Perfect. So if it finds it, I want you to bring it out to st.dataframe. As in ZDF. Let's see what we have. So I'll move from here to the home section of the app. I want to know, do I actually talk very fast like that? Okay, so let's pick a date. Let's pick January. So click on it, predict. Let's see the result, Capricorn. And now you see that we have our data frame here with the result, right? Very nice. So we will now reshape this one to make it beautiful for the user. So let's reshape this one out. So I can just make it simple like this. So let's try and then create an alias for this. So let's call it as st.write the alias, right, which is going to be the alias name, right? So dot format. I'm just going to pick that data frame. Then I'm just going to go with the first value that comes, which is always 1 dot alias name. Alias name. Right, if I save it, now that alias name, the goat, is going to be shown here. Right, the goat, right? Very simple. So you have gotten the first one. So we use this for all the other ones, for the positive and the negative. So let me expand this one, and we write that code here. So let's create a simple column. It's column 1, row column 2, whereby we put in our result. So let's put another one for column 3. So row column 3. So st.columns. Let's put in 3 columns. It's going to be, the first one is going to be the description 2 1 1, right? So with the row column 1, this is going to be our description. So let's go with st.info. I'm going to pass in my description. And how do we get a description? I can just go with st.write. I'll go into my ZDF, my Zodiac data frame. Then I'll just go with iloc.0.description. Right, so this is going to give us our description for that particular one. Then I'll just go down to the row column 2, or the result column 2. Then I'll do the same thing. So this is going to be, let's put an expander there with st_expander. Then I'll pass in my positive, right? So positive. Yep, it's going to be positive. We will put an emoji there. Then I'm just going to do the same thing. So write my ZDF, my Zodiac data frame, iloc.0.positive. So we want to get all the positives character. Right. So if I go with this, let's check it out. So we're going to be checking what we have so far. So if I go with predict, now we are going to have these 2 different ones there. So this is picking from the alias for the alias name, description for the description, as you could see, and then for the positive we are getting under this one, right? But it's in this particular format, so we can split it. So to split it, just go with dot split. I'm splitting by the comma, right? So I save it and I run it again. You can see that now it's no more going to be in that horizontal line. it's going to be in a vertical nice line. Perfect, right? So I've gotten all the attributes. So we do the same thing for the negative. So I'll copy this one here for the row result column 2, said row result column 2 or column 3. This is going to be the negative, and this is going to be negative. So let's run it again. So our app is fully working. So we have been able to design a very simple app that is able to predict the Zodiac, right? So with this same idea that we have, we can build the next app for the API. So we'll be trying to see how to build that one for the API in this session. So our app is working perfectly. So we need an emoji to post for the positive and for the negative. And then we need to be able to refactor it and take off this and this. So let's go back again and let's take off my data frame, comment it out. We don't need it anymore. And then for the result, yeah, we can just keep it like that. So we can actually make it, let's take off the date of birth. We don't need it. And then the result, you can just say, so you are something like that, right? So that the person knows what he or she is, right? Perfect. So this person knows the result, right? If I click on this, the result is going to come here, a Capricorn, and then this. So let's make, let's add some simple info, or let's make it success result. Yep, so that we have the result there. If the person click on this, we have the result. So you're a Capricorn, your alias is the goat, and then there's the description, and this is the positive, and then the negative, right? So we have seen how to build this simple app from scratch. So the basic idea behind this simple app we have built was that we just use this simple function using if else if, right? To process it, we pick the date. So that is the basic answer. So we are just picking the day of birth, right? And the month of birth, passing it through our function, our condition, and then we are using it for our task. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and see you in the next session. Stay blessed, and don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, and then to check for most of the materials here. The code is going to be available here on the project in the future, and then you can also check the Udemy channel for more. See you another time. Stay blessed. Bye.